All right, guys. Welcome back to episode 25 of Star Wars Age of the Empire Shadow of War.
Shadow of Mordor.
Just want to talk real quick,
Shadow of Mordor.
introduce my fellows here, starring Dave Traeger as Poe Dameron, Wreckage as Kylo Ren, Virgil Levenger as Lando Calrissian, and Tux Stradamus as R2-D2.
Okay.
This
okay.
D
I
is
was
getting
wondering
worse all the time.
I was wondering
I
where this was
don't know
going.
that I'm strong enough to kill you.
Can I just say...
I like how everyone bought into it.
The Kylo Ren thing you just said for Wreckage, fucking... Oh, man, I didn't even notice it. But you could literally be Kylo Ren.
Once you see it, you can't unsee it, right?
Yeah, I know.
It's okay.
It's the nose, man. The nose is almost the same.
Yeah,
like,
we both got a long, tall nose.
like, oh my god.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. Let's talk about who these people are and what they do. Right. Wreckage. Why don't you go first? Who are you, and how have you been this week?
I've been pretty good this week. Doing a lot of adult professional things. Submitting proposals. Synergizing outside of boxes. Going to board meetings.
Synergizing outside.
The thing that's my passion, though, is tabletop role-playing on the internet for strangers.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of which, tomorrow you can catch me GMing Sin Eaters on Die Party. And the next day you can catch me back here role-playing for Mistborn, which is off the chain. If you would like me to synergize outside of the box of your Twitch channel, please contact me on Twitter at Dr. Wreckage.
Okay. Well, that was the thing.
Thank
All right, R2. Give me the analysis.
Wow, that is incredibly racist, Adam. I never imagined you would say something like that.
Yeah, I speak
You know what?
binary. I don't appreciate your tone.
I've gone very blue over the past week. You know.
If you were green, would you die?
Maybe.
It ain't easy being.
I don't know.
green.
It's
It
not
is
that.
green.
It's not. If I was green, I would die. It's if I was, I'm blue.
Abadi,
I would
abadi.
I would beat up a guy.
Tux, why
what
don't
it
you
is.
tell us about how your week went, bro?
Pretty good. Like Wreckage, I've also been doing adult professional stuff, like getting used to working at a new place.
Yeah, I saw you down at the business factory the other day.
Oh yeah, I was making a lot of business there.
Putting
Business
Yeah, I
together
know.
Businessing
on the
pretty
treadmills.
hard.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got to pull triple shifts down at the business factory to meet the latest order of business from Business
Right.
Corp.
Breaking a sweat.
Sounds like the
Businessing.
kid from BoJack Horseman talking about being an adult. I like business and adulting. Like, oh yeah, cool. It's very,
Is this
it's very
rated
interesting.
adultery?
That's very interesting. What do you do? Work? Oh yeah, of course you do. I know you do. That show's so
Go
good.
For the city.
So there's that. We had an awesome Mistborn last Friday, and I'm looking forward to this one as well. And
Yeah, I bet you are, you thirsty little.
Whoa.
Valette, you know, she does her
Whoa.
thing, you know.
Whoa. Wreckage.
What?
Wow. That's your wife you're talking about.
Legally
wife-
wed.
The whole thing where like I can say it about her, but you can't.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Like-
I guess
it's like-
the marriage hasn't actually been consummated, right? So
It's true.
Right now.
Literally everyone else thinks it has.
And that's great. We'll keep it that way.
Even though
everyone but the audience, we know.
I would like to say everyone else was like, huh,
The audience
she's sitting in
knows
front of
too
a fire
much.
crying. They just had sex. Oh, yeah, nice job, girl. Yeah,
See,
you
if-
get you some.
If when whatever the fuck it's called was a die party game, I would be like, okay, guys, describe to me how awkward the sex is. Like,
That's a hen game for you.
yeah.
A henly game. Go
Yeah.
full ham.
Yeah, why not?
True.
Nothing is sacred.
And if you would like Dave to ruin your precious moments in your role-playing games, contact him on Twitter.
So, Tux, I heard you've been shadowing some urban shadows in a city made of fog. How's that been
Yeah.
going?
City of Fog's been going really well. It's a little awkward making it because since it's a Powered by the Apocalypse game and it's very, very character based because like the whole game is about deaths and factions and like the characters doing stuff with those deaths. It's a little awkward making it work with like new characters coming in all the time. But it's been like every session's been very, very fun. Like everyone said like at the end, I'm like, hey, did you like it? Did you not like it? Tell me, like yes, no.
Is it one of those things where you always have to escalate things because it's powered by the apocalypse?
Mhm.
So like some guy will have a debt, but in order to bring someone else in with a debt as well, he has to have equal or greater than debt in order to make his character work in the world. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, powered by apocalypse.
basically.
Apocalypse.
Yeah. What I've been saying is like I also need to start like throwing stuff at them more because we end up just like they only made like 2 rolls. That's weird. That shouldn't be happening. They need to be in more danger. I need to throw more stuff at them. I need to throw like a werewolf with like a machine gun into the mix or something.
I mean,
like
just
that.
collapse a building they're in. What
Yeah,
else?
just collapse it.
Yeah, just like they'll be on the top floor, right? And then some guy would put like a trap underneath a chair, and they would kick over the chair, and that would blow up the entire building somehow. And then
Right,
they have to somehow get down, and one of them doesn't, and he falls through 7 stories of floor. Then they spend like 5 episodes getting the body back. That's good. No, you should definitely do it like that.
Definitely.
Love
yeah.
you, senators.
But it's been going really well. I'll put the link in at the end when we do our next stuff. But yeah, it's open, so if anyone wants to play, you can.
I'll play.
Yeah, totally. I'll put the link. I'll find it when we do all this stuff.
Now just put me in the game, man. That's what you need to do.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
You're walking down the street and you see a nice Australian man.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice
What's the
looking
appearance
Australian man, maybe?
That's better. Yeah, thank you.
no such thing as a nice Australian.
Shots fired at all of Australia.
At all.
Yeah, we'll hide behind all of the rocks we have because we have so much open space. You'll never hit us.
Wait,
you have,
so
you have that
did you
one
just
rock
say
that
that
you can all
we
hide
have
behind.
plenty of stuff to hide behind because we have so much open space?
That's
I
right.
think so.
You just walk out into the scrub, you'll never see us again.
Hide behind a roof. They're big.
All right,
All
so
that
Dave,
going walkabout.
why don't
Yeah.
you tell us how your week went?
Well, it's still going, but so far the week has been pretty good. I have been up to my nip-nops in doing actual business, not just fake treadmill business like Wreckage puts out. So that's always
I did real business this week, Dave. I'll have you
We pulled long hours at the business store.
I went to
Yeah,
an
so-
actual board meeting.
Yeah, so I've been putting together a event for G2A called Digital Dragons over in Krakow. And part of my thing is trying to convince a company that we should have an extra 40-minute panel when the entire panel schedule is completely full. And so far, I've been doing a pretty good job of being like, you do realize that if we bring something to this event, that it's going to be better than anything anyone else can bring to this event. So you should literally just like fold on someone else's event schedule. So like, I've been doing some like hardcore like sitting there like smoking, just nodding my head, sort of like business, and it's been like, what if we tell you no? Like, that sort of shit. It's great. It's what I live for. Very aggressive business is my favorite thing in the world, but there's only so many companies that let you get away with it. What else? At exactly 6:40, I need to leave. 6:40 in the morning, so we can't go over 6 today. I have to go to my country-appointed medical check in order to get my residency for Poland. Which means I have to go to a Polish doctor, wait in a Polish waiting room, they'll call my name in Polish, which I won't be able to understand, and then I have
I
to
mean, they're
have.
gonna say Dave. There isn't. They're not
No,
gonna read
they
Dave.
won't say Dave because I don't know what a Polish man who can't read an English name called Dave, because let's be real, it has a V in it, and they're just like, I've never seen that letter before in my life.
That's ridiculous. They're Eastern Europeans. There's V's in a whole bunch of their names. Petrikov.
Yeah, instead
No.
they use Z's and R's to get
No.
that same sound. But anyway, like, so it's gonna be like this real invasive, like, medical thing. It's super weird. Like, I've lived in like 4 different countries my entire life. Never once have I had to go through a medical check that's so invasive before.
Like it's a physical, but like even more intense.
Yes.
Yeah.
I imagine
They're-
that there
they're
will probably
taking one
be a
of his-
chance that they will hold my balls this morning. I have a feeling. They'll be like, show me your testicles, and I'll be like,
I mean, they're gonna want to check for a hernia. They're gonna
So,
wanna check for
Virgil,
prostate
how are
problems.
you doing this week?
I'm fine. I'm a little worried about Dave. I mean, when he got the full write-up for the medical exam, he sent it right over to me on Skype to take a look. And I'm worried about the clause about leaving with one less liver. Like, I don't think that's standard. There's a couple other things.
Those regrow though, so no big deal.
Yeah,
Right.
in a month or so. I do
Especially
roleplay on
illegal to
Twitch.
quit.
Everybody. I do a lot of it here on AP Gaming Real, a lot over with Henley. Plenty of roleplay with all these folks on this beautiful show, which is very exciting and fun, and I'm so glad you're here to watch. If you want to catch more of my stuff, you can do so over at twitch.tv/Zircon5. Come swing by. We do roleplay games, video games, music, all kinds of stuff. Whatever I can figure out. Usually on Tuesdays. Most of my other days are spent role-playing elsewhere. So sit back and enjoy the show. Let's Star Wars. Why don't we go with Arthur?
Yeah, I thought for sure. Really?
Popcorn Arthur.
I thought for sure that I would be able to get through the last part of Swan Song and Power today. I told myself after the... It's only 3 hours of content. Surely I can watch piddling amount of content and toe tip. Finish Swan Song. That's about it.
You know what the next level play is? You can consume 3 hours of content in 1.5 hours with ×2 speed.
That's
Not on Twitch. They don't have that speed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wreckage is next level media consumer, people. He doesn't mess around. He watches it faster and better than you.
I mean, I
Faster,
consume.
stronger.
I mean, wouldn't that make everybody's voices like shift up?
Not really. No.
Frequency?
It does speed it up, but it doesn't.
Two
really
times
change
is a little
anything.
fast. Like if you go like 1.4, 1.3.
I mean, I could be talking like this. This is roughly twice as fast as I normally talk, and it makes me sound kind of like an asshole, doesn't it? I could be going to an auction house, or maybe I don't know, I'm like some sort of
Arthur,
shifty drifter.
it's not that much of a change. I'm gonna
It's a
be
huge
real with
change,
you.
okay? It's a really big change for me
Don't
right
you
now,
tell me
Dave.
how much of a
I can't
change
even
it is.
deal with the things you're bringing at me
Tell
right
her
now.
how fast she talks.
I listened to the Mistborn audio book from Graphic Audio, which is a
Read
full
by
rating.
the guy that does
Really
the
nice.
Samuel L. Jackson.
the Matchbox car ads.
I listened to that at 3.75 speed so that I could listen to it
Oh,
in
shit.
a single day. It was a lot of fun.
Speaking of Mistborn, that's basically my whole life right now is revolving around keeping this show, Mistborn, and Winter's Edge running without them all exploding.
Come on, this show literally runs itself. You just have to be like, okay,
No.
guys.
This show
How many balls of
takes up
cereal
the
do you eat today?
majority
In this
of my
game, it's
time.
good to have explosions. So
This show
you know.
is constantly teetering on the edge of cancellation and self-implosion. It got a little
Say that.
better once the guy who was like,
say that
I'm
word
gonna
for live.
mutilate corpses and hang them in my room, was like, I need to go stream on my channel. But still, there are times where I'm like, oh god, are people gonna show up next week? I don't know. Don't know.
What? Really? It's
I
easy,
showed up.
man. I've never thought about not showing up to this show.
Yeah, I sometimes show up when it's canceled and just sit in front of my turned off computer
you
and play
don't.
Toby for 4 hours.
We
You're
never
like,
canceled the
happy
show,
birthday
so
I'm like, communications are down and I'm alone in the ship. What should I do?
Everything's dark, Captain. What's going on here?
And then they
Let it
realize that the
belong
captain's
for later.
that would be an amazing episode.
Everything's gone tits up.
Just have like a Toby horror episode when like no one else can make it. Have him like searching an evacuated ship, and then at the end it was all just a station. Nailed it. We can do Metal Gear
You could call
VRs. Metal Gear Solid VR missions. There we go.
You could call it tea time with Toby.
No. So
Alright, so that's officially what we're doing next week when Wreckage isn't here, so tune in.
yeah. So Mistborn, go out and buy the game. Honestly, it's really good from Crafty Games. Watch the show. It's
What type of
pretty good
system
as
is
well,
it?
but the
Just
game
curious.
is even better than
It's
the
its
show.
own thing. It's its own like weird devised thing.
It's
also
a,
one
it's
of
a
those ones
very
that,
unique system. It's got more in common with Burning Wheel than it does with Dungeons and Dragons, but
Is it like a D10, D20? Is it like a D6? system?
D6 die
it's all
pool.
D6 based.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's that we'll not get into the mechanics because they're actually kind
The
of
most
weird,
important
but,
mechanic is that the players decide the story. They tell the GM what they want to see, and then the GM's like, okay, well, this is how it happens.
Yeah.
Rather than the GM being like, I've got this great content set for you. And then someone being like, actually, I go over here and I steal this thing, and then I rub my butt on the statue. What does everyone at the gathering do when I do that? Instead, you tell me, I want to go to this party,
So it's
steal
an
this
entire
statue, and
team
then rub
filled
my
with
butt on that
corpse.
thing, and I'm like, excellent. Let's talk about how that happens.
Right. It's basically us being like, hey, this could be cool, and then Arthur being like, yeah, but.
So Arthur,
Yeah.
can we
Yeah,
save
Wreckage.
the rebellion today?
Wait, I still have, you know what? I don't interrupt your guys' stuff until you're like,
Yeah. That is
I want to
very
talk
rude,
about my
Rick.
medical problems and my gauntlet. You know what? Fine. We're just going to get started. Fine.
Just giving the people what they want.
We'll do double shout outs at the end.
The whole last hour. It's gonna be shot.
Let's roll some force dice for this session, huh?
Can Gator roll, please? Gator
Yeah.
wants to roll.
All right. Let's
Yeah,
let's
Gator
go.
should
Just
roll
fuck
because
it.
as
my
we
life,
determined-
as I know it is over. Let's do this.
Yeah,
I'm
last
not
time
allowed
it's
to
all
call it
black die,
anymore.
so-
Yeah,
Tux
I'm not allowed to
isn't-
call it.
You're
And,
not allowed to call it, and Tux is never allowed to roll again.
Yeah, right. As per
Gator
last
does much
week.
better on his roll.
Yeah.
One.
Gator's a gun at rolling die. Can I just say that
Plus
I've never?
one for my mere existence.
Beavers.
Wouldn't it be great if I was also on the dark side, so it'd just be like pointless?
The thing is, they don't cancel each other out.
No, they just
more.
add more die. So
Yeah.
literally, this is going to be like more Destiny die than this game actually needs.
I mean, it
fill
needs
the
as many
box.
Destiny die as we're willing to use.
I mean, I'm really sad because this is the episode where we know Niall's around, and now I really need some dark side die to. Do
Oh
some
no,
sick,
how sad.
sick
Yeah, you
magic.
should have got Adam to roll then. You
How
know
sad
what
for
I'm
you.
saying?
Oh, how sad. We're so sad.
That'll be what it's like in the future. So if Arthur's ever like, hey Adam, could you roll the force die today? We'll know something's up.
Victoria's actually dead, Jedi Muffin. I don't know if you caught it, but there was an announcement on the Newsnet one day that Victoria was executed.
Come on, we don't watch the news.
It's rude.
Rip Victoria.
So
You literally heard it, Dave, and Coral was like, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Sounds like
I
something.
literally have not
How
thought about
interesting.
her in a long time.
so we left off.
We need
Heading-
to roll obligation first.
Oh
okay.
shit, yeah.
I didn't
So-
remember that we were still doing that. Is
so-
that a thing that we stopped doing?
I don't know. I mean, I want to keep doing it until we run out of obligation. I'm not a huge
Sure.
fan of it, but you guys are always like, can I take obligation to do?
But here's the
So
thing.
you're
like,
a huge fan of it.
The obligation that we roll, we never act on whoever got the
The
thing
thing
that
is,
rolled.
I think he did when he introduced
Damn
Toby Zero, but that's going to be like a thing to fucking deal with now. It's hard to
So,
introduce
yeah,
something and be like,
So
this
speaking
is a threat,
of Toby
but it'll be
Zero,
over by the end of the episode.
That's-
We just
Caleb,
rolled
that's-
again for more Toby obligation.
No,
Yep.
that's Caleb's obligation because it goes 20,
Oh,
20,
you're right,
10,
you're right.
10, 10.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Caleb,
Oh, okay.
what's your first 10-point obligation?
I don't think we ever did put them in an order. So I think
Roll.
last time we roll. Is there a roll?
Yeah, roll a d2.
All right. Which
Let
one
the
is
fate
which?
of
Okay.
chaos decide.
I'll say that.
Roll a
two-
d2 to determine which one's which, then roll a d2 to determine which one's which.
Which
Of
one
course,
you're
you have to
selecting.
flip a coin to decide who gets to call the coin on the football field.
And then we play rock paper scissors.
Best one out of 17, right?
So I think appropriately that this is the my Padawan is still alive obligation, especially
Ah.
since we're trying to reach out to get him this episode.
Yeah.
So
What if it
that's
turns
good.
out I'm your Padawan, you just don't recognize me?
that is not the case.
That's not, because we've already met his Padawan and he doesn't look anything like you.
I
Mostly
rip
because
off
you're
my
not a
mask
weak
and
way.
I'm that guy under there.
Oh my gosh.
I'm that
No.
guy.
So, everyone
So
takes minus
everyone
one
takes
threshold,
1
right?
point of strain threshold,
Ew.
except for Wreckage, where Caleb and Ray's take 2.
They take 1 each.
I would be okay with that if he wants to have his strain and HP roll pools.
Oh my god.
I would.
Split it. Oh,
That
Raise the Bob would
Make
literally
another
have
sheet
nothing.
for Raise Navar.
So his entire game, Arthur would
doesn't
just be
have
trying to...
any-
Caleb gets knocked unconscious and Ray's comes out and it's just like, I have a lightsaber in my hand. This is so curious.
Oh, this is very fascinating. I didn't realize effects.
Turning it on would literally burn his hand apart. He'd be like, "Gah!"
he's got ones and everything. He can't do that.
He's like,
Except for...
don't you need me
Actually-
to make a roll on astroxenology? The only skill I learned. Yeah. So
Basically.
we start in a extremely expensive looking room in
And he
Theed
just goes
Castle.
full
Palace.
Admiral
Sorry,
Thrawn.
Theed Palace. There's like the huge gilded walls that we're all used to seeing on Naboo shots. Giant windows. There's like vases all
Pillars.
over the place.
Huge open,
like
no
teakwood
walled areas.
couches.
Yeah.
All sorts of like small but very expensive items strewn all over the room on all the tables and like what do you call those things you put your feet ottomans, yeah, just
puss.
Yep.
yeah. And we see Reyes Navar, Moloxi, Toby, and Gator waiting in this room where in the next room your immediate superior, Major Johns, and several other military officers are having a very hushed conference to pinpoint scene, or perhaps to provide a little bit of background. We still hear the constant dull thumping of turbo laser fire on the planetary shield. All of it thumping down, but seemingly at a distance. As we like look out the window, we can see rather than shooting at like the capital city or at the shield generators, they're targeting like way like dozens of miles outside the city in just like random farmland with their turbo laser blast.
Gator doesn't understand why he needed to wash.
So like a rebel trooper comes in with those weird like flak helmets, and like
Is that like the thing that looks like fucking bike helmet?
yeah,
thing
it
that
looks
they
like a
had?
weird, but it's not really clear like why their helmets are somehow inferior to stormtrooper design when stormtroopers are literally like the lowest possible value you can have. But yeah, he comes in the room and then like enters a parade rest position and just nods at all of you and says, "The council of the generals will be finishing shortly. If you're ready to receive your orders, just prepared." And then he like salutes all of you and then snaps his heels and like walks away and in one of those, like parade motion with his gun holding in his arms, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm like a noble guard."
I can get away with not saluting anybody because they don't expect me to because I'm a droid. Awesome.
That's
Well,
you're a citizen of the Alliance to Restore the Galactic
They made you a
Republic.
captain.
Yeah.
So I turned.
Then he
I
probably
turned
has
to
to
Toby.
salute me. That's fine.
I turned to Toby and I'm like,
T0BY, I wish to mention something real quickly.
Yes, what is it, Gator?
I feel like I'm a king in here.
Oh, yes, it's lovely. What do you think? High ceilings sometimes, make people feel out of place. You're enjoying it, though.
Mostly that people salute me.
No, yes. You should be treated with the utmost respect. You've been doing a great job. Very glad you
For the last 12 hours.
broke onto the ship.
broke onto our ship and tried to steal it. Yes.
Look, it's fine.
he just like grins like from ear to ear. He's just like,
It's got us out of a sticky situation there. So
Oh, you missed your chance to say wicket.
sticky wicket.
that's offensive.
To British or Ewoks? Yeah, we are waiting still with John's. Is there, or is it just
No,
us?
John's is in the next room.
Okay.
Other military
We've just
staff.
a subordinate has just been sent out to say that we will be seen soon.
Okay, so
Basically,
he's
you know.
with the bigger, in the bigger.
Yeah,
meeting.
so I'm curious as to what everybody's thoughts are.
Okay.
The situation we left
Okay,
off last
so my
time
thoughts
was
are,
really bad.
gentlemen, my thoughts are, gentlemen, I was just thinking that I should say what my thoughts are. That Niall's going to give us quite a lot of shit. Unless
is
we can do
Niall?
something about it. Look,
That's what I've been wondering.
she's a very nice young lady that happens to have been slightly misguided and is now a Sith Inquisitor of sorts, working for the Empire.
Gator not
See,
trust.
very
her.
nice young girl and Sith Inquisitor don't usually go together.
We are going to warn the Rebel Command that an army of rogue robots is going to continue to target the shield generator. And then we are going to propose to them a very shady deal with their local crime syndicate in order to find the group of other Jedi who are hiding on this planet so that we can send a force message for help.
Look, I'm sure they're very skilled at helping, but I was thinking if we could, assault Toby Zero's capital ship, we could perhaps sneak on board. I could impersonate Toby Zero, and we could get right up to Niall's ship.
I'm going to go ahead and get out in front of that and say that
It's an
Toby
amazing
Zero-
plan. I agree.
Toby Zero is you, so he probably has already thought of the plan that you've thought of.
Oh yes, let's not use any of Toby's plans because there's another Toby. That's fallible.
Well,
Plus,
in-
he's infected
in-
with a virus. He's probably hallucing that his crewmates are trying to kill
In
him.
this case,
T0BY. I'd
He's
like
the
to point
person
out
we would-
one
Rude about
very
the-
obvious thing that you've miscalculated.
Yes, what is it, Gator?
The T0BY you wish to impersonate is in a different chassis altogether.
Yes, it's not a problem. I mean, we just, mess
My
up
point
some
is-
communications and then say, we've been attacked by the rebel scum. And
he's likely got some sort of... I'm not very good with computers. He's likely got some sort of IP or whatever that only he would have, that his
yes, that's why we
subordinates-
need to get our little grubby hands on him and extract that data right out of him. And then, fool her into thinking that I'm him. It should be no problem. If we get the chip, I may be able to call off all the evil murdering janitor bots. That
Well-
could be very helpful. I mean,
Well, it all just sounds so simple.
that's what I thought. Yes, I'm glad you're in agreement.
Toby, just do me a favor and recheck your sarcasm subroutine.
Sarcasm, oh my god, it hasn't been running for almost 36 hours. Oh, thank you for noticing. That's a problem. Anything sarcastic said in the last 36 hours? Anyone like to know if I might be...
Well, Oxy was being sarcastic when she supported your plan just now.
Oh,
Yes.
damn.
Thank you.
It's a great
Yes.
plan. Your plan is to, find some old crusty wizard to help. Right? The gist of it?
If that is your criteria, then I am also an old crusty wizard.
I would not argue the points against it. Look, fine. Call your people. You call your people. I'll suggest to the generals that we go on a quick murder spree, try to take the other ship. We'll see what pans out. Just throw shit at the wall till something.
So our
sticks.
options are murder spree or work with crime syndicates.
Why don't
We
we
will-
just leave?
Because there's a planetary shield
Planetary
up, Gator.
shield. Can't get out.
Why
Depends what
don't
you-
we just get device to go through shield?
If there was such
I
a
scan
thing,
my data banks, Arthur, for a thing that does that.
That could be
Looking
like
for
some
something
sort
that
of
does what
residence.
exactly?
It
It, like,
pierces a ship through a planetary.
if
I mean,
there was
there's
such a
still-
thing, they
I'd
would
imagine
be landing
now
to
it's a
attack such
sci-fi
thing.
thing, so I'd imagine there'd be something along the lines of like, oh, it literally like resonates our shield with the shield that we're trying to get through, and this lets
That's
us
Star
pass through.
Trek, not Star Wars.
Yeah,
In
there's
So
Star
we jump to hyperspace right
Inside
before we
the
hit the shield.
Yeah,
It's suicide to attempt it, though.
if you go directly parallel along the shield at hyper speeds,
We drive along the shield
No,
faster
no.
than the shield can
So,
generate.
Yeah, Toby.
and then we go back in time to 3 days ago when the shield wasn't up.
There's no way to get in or out of the shield. It's perfectly non-permeable.
what about
Sounds.
if we go to shield generator, we put a time release on it, go to shield. When time release goes
Keep your
off,
voice down, mate. Keep your voice down. Listen, you're gonna get
Gator,
in
you're
big trouble
suggesting-
talking like that.
If
You're
we do
suggesting
that,
damning this
the
entire
players-
planet.
Wait till we're
to
back
fall
at
to
the ship if
Empire.
you're going to
no,
talk
the
about.
shield will come back on after we go through.
Look, no traitor talk here. Only when we're safe. Okay, that's very traitorous.
Look, let's just talk to the High Command of the Rebel Alliance here on Naboo. They will either support or condone our plan, and likely have additional information for us. It's rather pointless to discuss things at this point in time.
they
People
could be
talk
working on
too much
something right
as
now.
is.
So
Well, look, they're gonna love my plan. I have graphics and everything. I mean, sound effects.
So, as this conversation goes on, the double doors into the next room swing open, and you can see that the room is now mostly empty except for Major John's and a rather large and obese Gungan man sitting on a throne,
A Gungan.
wearing enormous gold robes filled with purple stars.
have
I
to
walk
look this up.
in, and
I
I'm
can't remember
doing
what a
the
Gungan is.
I'm doing the full Jedi diplomat thing with my hands in my cloak sleeves, and I come in and do the half bow.
So he like inclines his head and then says, "Misa King Hylos Gom Jabbar, Usayu.
I am Caleb Fallon.
Misa, honored to meet the Jedi Caleb Fallon."
I am honored to meet you as well.
I turn to Toby. I'm just like, he's a Jedi.
This one,
I come with a proposed plan for the situation that Naboo now
So he
faces.
holds up a hand and he's like, "Misa got a plan for you." And then he nods to Major Johns, who pulls out like a little device and clicks it, and like a hollow projector rises from the floor, and then one comes down from the ceiling.
like,
it
oh
starts-
God, man, that's blowing mine out of the water. I can't believe this.
There's all sorts of graphics and statistics, but really prominently is the face of Nile on one page and the face of Toby Zero on the other. And they're both like iPhone live pictures. So they're like blank until you look directly at them, and then it moves. Like the Toby one like looks around menacingly, and the Nile one has like her hair be a little wavy.
it's at
He
the
just looks
magazine.
around
You like
in
turn
a
it.
Toby-like
so it
manner.
changes.
This is like a character selection screen, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
when you
Yeah, they
select
go
it,
through
it's
their
like
idle animation, but
Pick
it's
her.
really
idle
forced.
animation. Then when you select another guy, they pause, and you idle animation.
Yeah.
So Major Johns, studiously avoiding addressing Caleb, turns to Toby and says, "Captain, we have the
Yes.
following two options. I believe these are the ones that the High Command has settled on. As you might know, we are cut off with communications. According to our sensor readings, Holonet satellites in hyperspace have been destroyed by the Imperials. Not going to be sending or receiving messages anytime soon. However, we've been offered quite a considerable deal if it's trustworthy. According to the Admiral Nile, if we surrender you, them, for exactly one job. They will leave. That will allow us to deal with this Toby Zero character. Other hand, if we not surrender, we're going to have to do Toby Zero
Thing
on
slowly
our own.
resting by my pistol.
I lost everything for like 30 seconds.
Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
Skype just pooped for a sec. So can we wheel it back to and one job and then they'll be fine?
Oh, one job and you'll be fine.
And then the next thing he said was,
Something
The
about
Imperials will leave.
Toby's?
They'll restore communications, and the rebellion will be free to deal with Toby Zero and lower the planetary shields. If not, we're going to have to deal with Toby Zero ourselves, and then the Imperials separately. You have
Did they
some
say what
alternative
this job
plan?
was?
Something
I do have-
involving Imperials can't really doing it. Admiral Nile was a bit non-specific. Might imagine for a job that they need to hire a rebellion ship thief.
It's a setup. It's an obvious setup. I can't believe you're falling for this.
"This is
They're
far
gonna
too good
do
to be
something
true."
horrible and awful, and then they'll say, "Look, it was the rebellion officers doing this, and the Jedi was there. Jedis are such assholes, aren't they?"
So
Oh, it's a setup.
Malaxi, you're still reaching for your pistol? You like got your hand on it?
It's just it's like hovering.
Yeah,
she's
so
hover-handing
Major
the
Johns
pistol.
is just like parade
Yeah.
rest, Malaxi. What's your rank in the rebellion? You're like a trooper, right?
Yeah, she's like the lowest rank possible.
Yeah, she's like parade. Or yeah, he's like parade rest, Trooper Malaxi.
There is a
So
third
I
option
noticed-
that I
I
wish to
noticed-
present.
She,
I
her head looks
noticed
down. She
this.
sighs, and then she
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
Just
like
casually
everyone
just,
in the room, like ignores everything else, and like King Gom Jabbar and the Major are both like death staring Malaxi now that she's like going for a gun.
So I'm like talking, and in the middle of my speech, I just like smack Malaxi a couple times.
Like, cut it out, cut it out. Look, I'm saying it's a setup. We need to set up the setup. Wait, but look, what was your plan, Caleb? What were you saying?
There is a
Put the
third
thing away.
option. I am aware on the planet Naboo that there is a group of Jedi like me. If I could be put in touch with these Jedi, we could reach out with the Force and summon rebellion reinforcements through those means. However, I am unable to locate them. I have been contacted, unfortunately, by the leader of your local crime syndicate, the Consortium, I think it is called. In exchange
Mhm.
for pursuing his organization less aggressively in the future, he would be willing to put us in touch with this group of Jedi, and we would be able to reach out and summon reinforcements. I know Nile, unfortunately, as well. When reinforcements arrive, she will not engage in a full-scale battle. She will retreat. She is not foolish.
So yeah, Major Johns is like, according to the data that we have received, Jedi, she will be arriving with several more reinforcement groups over the next few weeks. Very soon, the shields on Naboo will not be able to withstand the firepower of several mass Star Destroyer collections. If these troop figures are correct, she'll also be moving a super-class Star Destroyer into low orbit.
all
Then
of
doesn't
this
it
just to get
seem
to you two?
odd?
It seems
Doesn't it
extremely odd. It's not often an Imperial Admiral sends their entire plan of attack to Rebel High Command.
Now, doesn't it
Maybe
seem
she
extremely
wasn't
odd that
telling
they
you.
are willing to let the Rebel High Command go in exchange for the services of a single crew?
We're just the High Command on this particular planet. But
Surely,
yes, this does seem fairly strange.
Yes, it's definitely
Surely.
worth it for them, or they wouldn't be doing it. See?
surely there is less to risk in allowing this local crime syndicate some leeway over the next few months than to deal with the Empire. I am not happy about it either, but I am much less happy about the thought of working with Nile on some damning project that's worth giving up the conquest of an entire rebel planet.
What exactly is the deal that you would like to have with this particular organization?
He was vague. He merely wanted the heat called off of his organization in exchange. It is not something I can do, obviously. It is something that the law enforcement of the rebels would have to green light.
So he kind of sighs and looks at King Gomjabar, and Gomjabar is just like, Misa never gonna stop hunting them. And he like pulls something out from his robes, and it's like a limited edition coral action figure with like a orange lightsaber, and it's got a bobblehead, and he starts shaking it, and he's like,
I like touch the lightsaber like unconsciously kind of as I see it. I'm like, oh.
Misa big fan of the Jedi. Never gonna stop hunting them.
Like, look, there's a third option as well. I was thinking, full-on strike force attacks Toby Zero's ship, and then we impersonate Toby Zero. Myself could do a, not bad job, bit of a thespian, if I may say so myself. And then we, go and dock with the, Star Destroyer in orbit above. And I thought that would be it, bing, bang, boom. But then maybe we, do it again. We wait for the next ones to come, and then with their Star Destroyer, destroy the destroyers. Go full ham on it, right? I mean,
I have a proposal.
It's weird.
Big risk,
Hearing this
big
plan
rewards.
again, hearing this plan for the second time makes it seem not as good as the first time.
What
Dude.
if... what was the name of the king?
King Tylos Gomjabar.
King Gomjabar. What if your organization promised to stop hunting him, and in exchange, our crew promised to finish that particular hunt? He asked...
Misa gonna point out you saw work for me. And Major Johns is like, no, well, they work for the Rebellion.
I'm like, the consortium is not a
I have to wait for wreckage for a sec.
Look, the consortium is not who we're taking on here. Anyway, I'll argue with him later if I have to. That's how it's going. No consortium hunting for me, thanks.
Yeah, so
The
Major
Consortium,
Johns
the
just
Norman,
is like
right?
sighing, and he begins stroking his beak, and is like, well, I'm not really sure what to do. We had 2 plans that we were going to offer, and now it sounds like we have 4. High Command is already divided enough.
I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 4.
It's 3, isn't it?
No.
Meatbags usually choose primes. That's why I said that. No.
Well, there's also 2 and 1 then.
Which number do you want?
Are you addressing that to anyone in particular?
Well, I guess the King Gungan.
Yeah, the King Tylos Gomjabar is just like, Misa don't know what number I want.
You pick
Misa
one
gonna
between 1 and
use the
4.
die of fate then? And he pulls
Okay.
out a chance cube.
Though that one has 6 sides. Do we need another 2 missions?
Yes,
I could think of a few fake ones for you if you buffer them up.
do you have the chance cube from one of the games that people play? I've heard there are games where there's chance cubes with many different sides.
So yeah, when you
It's
say
gonna
that,
be
Major
Vanilla.
Johns is just like, and he like used clicker to like go on to the local like planetary holonet and activate like www.onlinerpgresources.com and pulls up a D4
No, he just goes to
roller.
his bookmarks because,
A
let's be
D4.
real, he probably plays a lot of role-playing games.
That's less real than the AP Gaming Real. Yeah, and he's like, is this seriously how we're going to do this? We're going to decide the fate of Naboo, your crew, probably the Alliance's entire chances of ever winning back any other planets on
Meanwhile,
this.
I'm talking about like the quality of polyhedrons and their usefulness in everyday life and at the micro mechanical scale as well.
Ada has a saying that when you're stuck, you just make decision.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
you're the
John's
leaders
is just
here,
like,
so
in all of these plans, Captain Toby, your crew must carry them out. Sounds like it's up to your crew to decide what you'd like to do. Let us know when you've decided. Please feel free to use the king's sitting room. Gesture back to the room.
Oh, goody.
glad to see the rebels are as good as making decisions as ever.
So we go back into that room, and I say, well, we all want different plans.
As you're walking away, Mulaxi, Major Johns is like, Trooper, Mulaxi, can I have a moment? That sounded particularly insubordinate, pilot. Have you forgotten military discipline?
Of course not. I was simply frustrated with the situation.
Save those frustrations for the pilot's briefing room, not for the king's throne room. I trust you can understand the difference. You're dismissed.
Indeed. Yeah, she gives a salute. It's a little like.
She gives
a
the
little more,
imperial
like,
military salute.
Oh, I don't know what the rebel salute is.
I don't know.
That'd be like fist on the heart, and then like a peace
Yeah.
sign, and then like 2 thumbs up.
Then you have to vape from your lightsaber e-cig.
Standard issue
Babe.
for all rebels. You have to blow a ring like the. You have to blow a the
It
rebel
looks like the Death
alliance
Star,
symbol.
and then it dissipates.
Big skill.
As it breaks apart, it looks like the first Death Star being destroyed.
Yeah.
It's the Gandalf, of course.
The Gandalf.
Yeah. So you're basically told to go back into the waiting room, come up with a plan, and don't come out until you're ready.
Toby,
Is there like any cleaning droids in this room, Arthur?
Are there any what?
Cleaning droids, you know, those little tiny like things. They have-
You know,
truck
for a
ones.
light side point, there certainly can be.
Sure.
Okay, that's an easy bargain.
It's
Yeah,
a
there's
trap.
one of those little Imperial issue cleaning droids running around, the little mouse bots. That's just like,
I want to pick one up, and I
Okay.
want to start taking it apart.
as soon as you
Okay.
do, it immediately begins emitting like a high frequency alarm noise, like.
Yeah. Can I make a mechanics roll to turn that off?
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to. You need to make a
'Cause
mechanics
it's really
roll to do
annoying,
everything
you know?
about this.
It's super frustrating to hear it.
Yeah, I just cut off those frequencies from my hearing real quick.
Yeah, 2 purple.
Too purple. Cool.
Yeah.
Like, oh, those are not pleasant or necessary for now.
Look at that! I crushed that.
Yeah,
shit.
you've got this
Unsurprising.
thing. You turn off the alarm and you pop it open.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, how does it? So I'm supposed to be rolling a blue die with that all the time. How do I add it? Is it a plus blue? Plus B? on the
You
thing?
can.
You just add
What?
1B.
Oh, 1B. Okay, I see. Yeah. Okay, that works now. Great,
Yep.
perfect. So yeah, okay, so yeah, I just sort of pick it up and I'm just sort of, like I sit on the ground and I just start taking apart this thing while these guys are deciding on what they're doing.
so Toby,
I'm watching intently.
I know we disagree on the value of various plans. I'm sort of curious about something you said in there, though. I thought you would be, absolutely eager to go after the consortium.
I mean, with the backing of our, friends, the Rebel Alliance, it would be another matter, but a solo ship versus a consortium is not my idea of a fair fight.
The furthest we can stay away from them, the better.
You've got debts?
Sure.
Everyone's got debts, it's not a problem. We'll stay away. Look, see, I mean, people have problems with them, and they, instead of sorting them out, they just say, feck off. We should do the same, I don't want to take their deal. Look, why don't you meditate on it, and, I'm just going to. This is fascinating. I'm going to watch him take apart this. You're just disseminating the little fellow.
We have very little time to choose a course of action.
So, Malaxi, like, while this is going on, you get a communications from someone you used to know in the consortium.
Somebody that I used to know.
So, yeah, what's your
Yeah.
beef with them exactly?
Yeah, you answer and it says, "Hello from the other side."
All right, thank you so
I'm
much, guys.
coming from the other side.
Sorry.
Boo.
Okay. Anyways, yes.
Ooh.
I get a
Yeah,
message from
what's your beef with the consortium right now? What are you willing to publicly reveal?
She ran away from them.
Yeah.
Like she was like
So before
not-
you did, who was
she
your
was like she wasn't technically a slave, but it was like you work for us and you can't leave.
She's like
and you're
Spike
never
Spiegel.
allowed to leave.
who was the guy you worked for, or gal, or robot?
Does are they mostly humans or are they like
Zan Consortium is all-purpose murderers.
okay?
Any flavor of scumbag.
Random Star
Purple
Wars.
is my favorite.
Let's make it a
Rebel Scout.
let's make it one of the what are they called, the Gans,
Okay.
those weird bug
Gans?
dudes.
Okay, so he's like a Gan Findsman.
Yeah.
And
What's his
Oh,
name?
Let's see.
Gansman Lands.
Games Bland's the name.
Listen, we've had
Green
Schlick
and gold's
and
the game.
We've also done Slango Trango. We don't let Dave name anything ever again.
Kusov.
Slango was a good name for the vendor, I thought. But
It was really
Except for the fact we kept forgetting it.
yeah, you were terrible.
Slango
What?
Trango.
Dave terrible at remembering a name? Even when I name somebody Pirate Lord Bob, he still forgets it.
Because I don't expect it. You know, I
Okay.
try to remember it. I'm like, oh, that's right. It's so simple. Like,
It must be Bobby Oso or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kusov was my handler. Like
Oh, Bob.
he was one that was like, "Hey, time for a job." And I'd be like, "I don't like doing jobs." Like, too bad.
So, yeah, you
Doing jobs
got
is
a
your job.
message coming from Kusov on planet. Like, it has to be from the local HoloNet.
Oh, fuck.
And the subject line just reads, Hayden.
I grip my phone like you probably just hear like the like creak of my phone, my data pad or whatever, as I'm gripping it like almost hard enough for it to break. You just hear like and then I
Like the sound effect of an anime guy squeezing his fist together sounds like leather.
Leather all the time.
I just slowly tap it and open the message.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's a video. Like, this is a Skype call.
Fantastic.
Are you accepting
This
this?
is a Skype call.
Oh,
Skype
okay.
still
Like,
isn't
actual
Yeah,
call.
it's like a live call. Yeah.
in the room.
Okay, yeah. So like, yeah, I get the message, and then yeah, I like grip my phone really hard, and then talk amongst yourselves. And I just turn and walk away from the group.
I'm like, look, if you don't think you have time to, meditate,
Start chatting more.
Okay. Yeah.
Like a teacher, talk amongst yourselves. I'm busy.
Yeah, I do so, and I chat. amongst ourselves.
Oh, well, if you're giving us permission.
So, yeah, Gans are like insectoid, like orange and brown skinned creatures. And this one pops up on the little holo transmitter 1/8 his size, although it's not actually 1/8. It's much smaller. And Kusov is just like, Malaxi, good to hear from you again. You know you can never run so far that I can't find you, girl.
Apparently, I've been doing a bad job.
I'm a findsman. I always know where to find you. It's not about where, it's about when. The when is now.
Appears so.
So, I think in your time with the consortium. You know that GANs normally don't refer to themselves as like I or any sort of like personal terminology. They always refer to themselves by like third person self naming. Only like the most honored members of GAN communities that have become like truth seekers and the highest ranking among them are allowed to refer to themselves as like personal pronouns. And so yeah, he's just like I need to speak with you on several
So he's
subject
a
matters.
big deal.
So when I last knew him, he didn't do that.
No, he did do it back then.
Oh, okay.
It's
it.
never really been clear whether he actually earned it or not, but this dude, if he didn't, he definitely thinks he did.
Okay.
He thinks highly of himself. Huh?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does. He's also super deadly.
Okay, yeah. I wasn't sure if he had like gotten to that point since I learned him, but okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as a
so-
Finesman, they basically use him as like a mobile assassin.
Yeah.
As opposed to the stationary assassins.
They're the worst ones though, because you walk into their field of fire and you're dead.
Yeah, but they get a hit and they're like, well, oh gosh, that's on another planet. I doubt he'll ever walk into my field of
I
fire.
will wait here until he comes
If you're lucky.
past.
If you're lucky.
We have your brother.
Excuse me?
Aiden. Yabaloba, sound familiar?
Christensen or Panettiere?
This rings a bell. Where is
So
he?
he just stares at you for like a good
Where-
long while to make it
Where
really
is he?
creepy. He's fine. He's still on Yabaloba. We're just taking care of him, you know? Because he's one of the family just like you. Right?
No,
Saying
He
you're not
isn't.
one of the family.
he
Us.
isn't.
If you're not one of the family, he's not one of the family. And if someone who wasn't a member of the family was staying at one of our facilities, we'd have to assume that he was an intruder. And I think you know what happens to those who intrude on Zane Consortium facilities.
Oh, I know. I've had to bury a few of them.
So, you would agree that you and he are members of our family, right?
Or the time, I suppose.
I'm glad that we have an understanding, sir.
Great. We
Now, I've been
understand
asked
each
to put a
other.
little bit of extra pressure on you. There are some people in the organization who think that maybe you aren't doing enough. Maybe you and your crew aren't getting the rebels to call off the death marks. I'm here to just let you know that should anything happen to us, there's a standing order to kill your brother. And, by the way, since we can't communicate with Yabaloba, if this communications blackout isn't raised in a few days, your brother is gonna be not part of the family. Get my drift? It would behoove you to solve this problem sooner rather than later.
All right. Nice
Anyway.
talking with you.
Oh,
Look,
so
are you
nice
still on the
talk.
phone over there? Not paying by the minute, are you? Come on, we're having a meeting.
Who's that, sister? Somebody I should know.
Some new friends. Not family. Friends.
I see. Well, better not have them stay overnight where I live. I'd hate for something to happen to them.
I love the threats this guy's making.
And
Right.
that way I'll know where they'll sleep, and then I can kill them.
Better hope I don't cook them breakfast in the morning. Because otherwise, I'll put something in it. And they won't like it.
I hope they're
Fine.
not afraid of
So,
berries.
I mean, the thing to remember is that this guy's not only is he like non-human, he's non-humanoid. He doesn't like think or act like a regular human. So this could be an entirely reasonable series of threats from his
Do
perspective.
they look like if like a fly was a human?
Skype? Like, yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah. So she like puts her hand back and gives like the 1 second signal to Toby, and then fine. They'll hear from you soon. They'd better.
I'm looking forward to my face not being plastered on all the television screens. I'll catch you later.
See you at the next reunion. I'll bring the salad or whatever. And then she just turns it off before he can respond, and then puts it back in her pot. No, she tries the phone and just breaks it, and then tosses it aside, and then turns around and walks back to the group.
So Gator's like looking at you when you do that, and you snap the phone, and then he just goes, and then he like looks at the directions you threw the phone in, and he's thinking about it, like repairing the phone.
Are you okay, Maloxy?
Everything's fine.
That's
we were
great to
talking
hear.
about,
Excellent. Yes, we are talking about important things, not whatever
Yes.
you're doing. Look, I think that we maybe we don't follow the Zan consortium lead. We try to find another lead. I mean,
Toby,
who else
I
do
was
we
being
know?
sarcastic earlier,
Hopefully.
but I have to say it. Your plan is not going to work.
No. I mean, we can try to find these Jedi folk, but I just don't think that we have to go through these unfortunate channels. No one wants to do it. Everyone
People have
wants
to do things they don't like sometimes.
Look, the Zan Consortium has an expectation that we're going to call off these death marks on them. If we call off the death marks on them, because the king wants them dead.
What do you mean an expectation? You
Well,
think I promised something?
No, I didn't. But you know criminals. They're like, I want this thing, in exchange I'll give you this thing, and they assume the deal is already signed in blood, and if you don't do it, they come after you anyway.
And then next
Why
thing
don't
you
you
know,
just
they're
tell them
threatening
that
to
you've
shoot
done
you a
it?
lizard and-
Because literally
Well,
the
no.
result, yeah, they have to see their faces come off of the wanted posters. That's our end of the deal. And because the king wants to
Okay,
pursue them ruthlessly for the death of Coral, and I'm not in opposition to that,
Right.
we'll have to take up that job. So
What else?
either officially they're wanted, the consortium is wanted on this planet, or we have to go after them. But I agree with Maloxy that, Toby, your plan has just got way too many places where it can fall apart.
Oh yes, way too exciting for the likes of you. I understand. Look, Gator, do you know anyone local? I mean, are you from here? Did you ship in just to creep on board the lovely starship we have?
Gator like he's like sort of looking at a circuit board or something like that right now, and he just sort of looks up and goes, "Huh?"
Look, just wondering if you know anyone. Some people we can talk to. Look for secret Jedi cult. I mean, people
And then he
probably
like
whisper.
he goes back into like screwing something. He's like, "Only the Brotherhood."
Oh, well, he knows the Brotherhood. I mean,
Is the Brotherhood on planet, Gator?
No.
oh dear.
Well, then, unfortunately, that particular contact is not available to us right now.
Yes.
I can't
Look,
believe
there-
my entire crew is wussing out on the adventure of a lifetime. And instead,
We've already
We
fought
can,
Toby.
if
You
we
want to-
if we
you
don't
want to
do it, we'll
hold
live to
hands?
adventure another day.
with the people who murdered my best friend in the entire galaxy.
Look, no one's a big fan of the consortium, but
We get them off the wanted posters, and then we get to go after them. I mean,
Look, we need the
Ah.
backing of the rebel.
Arthur,
we can. There are.
is there like a rough number I could look up of wanted Zan consortium criminals?
Yeah,
Like a rough
there's
digit?
several. I mean, remember that you're no longer in communication with like the HoloNet, but they have like
Sure.
saved archives, and there's like several thousand Zan Consortium members
Yeah.
who are
So
wanted.
I say, look at this list. This is who we'd have to kill, and it's like names. I'm like, are you willing to do that? Is that you think you'll be happy and shiny at the end of those days of months and months of hunting all these people down and cutting them to bits with my lightsaber?
The plan, the,
Look, I still think it's too much work.
Toby, that list is the entire Zan Consortium, not just the consortium on Naboo.
Yes. Well, we take out, a section. They fill in. It's a huge organization. They'll just send people after us with one ship, man.
Their planet is being bombarded right now. They're not going to be able to survive if it keeps up. And he even said they're going to bring reinforcements. We can play to that. We can get them to back us.
Here's how I see it going down. Not that it's ideal, and I'm still willing to discuss the other plans. We call off the death marks with the Rebel Alliance. They tell us where our Jedis are. We reach out for help. And before reinforcements arrive, which will take days, that is when we, while they still can't communicate with the rest of the consortium, go after the consortium.
Yes, and then it's like they mysteriously vanished, right?
So
Look, this is a big
Gator
issue.
will be like sitting on the ground cross-legged, and he just looks at him and goes, "Why not you just lie?"
Look, like we said, we need to actually, if they're what they
We
want
can't.
is to be
There's
officially not wanted anymore. And
There's
Well,
no lie.
take-
We can't lie about that.
Take the wanted posters down,
look,
and then put them back up.
I am opposed to doing even that. These scumbags deserve to be hunted and by the entire rebellion. The Zan Consortium is not something that a handful of true. I mean, I don't even
If we take
trained
them off,
soldiers.
they're going to go back up themselves. It's not like they're going to not. That's not like they're going to stop being criminals. They're still going to be wanted. It just won't be official, and the
On
posters will go
Naboo.
back up.
They've
They're
asked
already
only for
not
Naboo.
happy with me.
Sure, of course.
I don't know
they're
how
going
much-
to hate us anyway.
Yes, they're just going to hate us more and more. I mean, they're too big. It's not like that bar fight back on the asteroid with the robots where it's 50 robots dead and done deal.
All right,
This is a
so
different
I'm
thing,
gonna
man.
finish putting back together the droid now, Arthur.
Excellent.
And what I've done is, does it have like an LED display or something like that on it?
It didn't before. Does it now?
Sure, why not? Yeah.
Okay.
And I put it on the ground and maybe I turn it on and it starts to just sort of whirl up and it starts driving around in circles. And then I'm just like, crew, I have something for you. And I point at the cleaning droid. I'm just like, VAC 203. Which mission should we pick? And then it goes, and then it like shows up with like number 2, and it's like, we do mission 2.
What's
We
mission
didn't number
2?
them ahead of time, Gator.
I did. It was the second one that they gave us in the meeting.
Okay.
Well, that's the one where we give Toby away for free.
No, that's the one where you take out Toby Zero, and then the rebellion surrenders you the Imperials so that they can get their communications
Yeah.
back.
Renders me to the human.
Right.
Yeah, I'm.
That plan is shit.
I put together a random algorithm to pick one because you crew can't pick one.
We're in the process. It's a process, Gator. We have to tell
That
us-
also was a process too. It was
Look,
very
if
much
we look at the
mathematical.
facts, we have 4 plans. 3 of them are shit. One is the
One
only
of
one
them
that's
is
going to work.
less
We have
shit.
4 pieces of shit in front of us. One stinks the least.
So then Gator will like bend down, pick up the droid again, and just be like,
Aw.
"Right."
So
And then
Gator,
he'll like sort of yeah.
I'm interested to know. We know that Force users in this time, they've started to have like physical symptoms that show their Force usage. One that matches like the color of lightsaber that they typically pick. So, like, what color are your eyes? They've begun to glow extremely faintly recently.
Well, no, my eyes are just pitch black, and this
Yeah,
entire race,
okay.
their eye color, they don't have pupils.
They don't have
or
pupils,
anything.
so they have nowhere to for
So-
lightsaberness to glow.
So, like, Caleb, as you're watching, his eyes are just kind of glowing little black. It's kind of fucking weird.
If anything, the only thing that's noticeable about Gator, specifically with Force stuff, is that he's unnaturally like muscular, like completely muscular, like in places that you wouldn't expect. And that's about it. That's the only thing that if someone was to like, oh, is that a Force user? And it's like, nope, it's not. It's just a really buff guy. Like that's about the only thing you can get from that. So
As you like pick up your droid and you're like turning away or whatever, I'm like,
No, wait. Well, if you don't really carry the way, you should be arguing on my side. I'm outnumbered. I need help here.
Toby, surely you don't want either of the two options where we turn you in.
No, the one where I pretend I'm Toby Zero and then ride in on a glorious chariot of laser fire, destroy Nile, and then the rest of the despicable empire. Look, this is a
If
great...
Gator had to have
Toby.
his opinion, does Gator have opinion?
Yes, what do you think, man?
Why not?
Which sounds more fun?
The
Which
one where
plan?
we do a single mission and nobody gets hurt.
Well, that's
But that is
basically the one where we...
Neither of them want to do a mission for this Nile person.
Why not? That way the Rebel Alliance gets left alone.
Ask
we don't
them.
have to put our name in front of
All
a
right, you know
giant
what? You know what?
criminal organization.
Just
I
too
agree there.
suspicious.
I'd rather work for Nile than work for these assholes that killed Coral. So
This is
fuck that.
too suspicious.
Call it.
Well, first of all, we're not working for the consortium in any of these plans.
Look, I didn't used to be the captain of the ship, you see. He was a great mate of mine named Coral. And he was a fantastic captain. Led me all throughout the galaxy. So many worlds and adventures. Look, it was amazing, and he was taken from me in his prime. It was very sad, and it was very recently, so I'm still very upset about it. And these Zan Consortium fuckers will eventually pay, but now's not the time.
Right.
Yeah,
We take down the
so
wanted posters,
Caleb.
and then we'll get them back later.
while this is going on, you get a message from Weequay.
Oh, well then, we don't need to deal with the consortium at all. What does it say?
Yeah, Weequay just sends you like Holonet text, and it just says, "I have someone here. I believe you should meet," and sends you coordinates for like a place to meet at.
Can I bring a friend? Is my reply.
His reply is, "You should probably bring several."
Oh, well then. Good
And
news,
it's
everyone.
important to note that Weequay's only force power that he has any ability in is the ability to foresee
Foresee the
events and
future.
danger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, gritty. So, good news, everyone, or mixed news, everyone. The Jedis that we're trying to contact in the first place have just contacted me, so we don't need to deal with the consortium at all.
Wait, what?
Oh, they've just with a text message.
Wait, you got a text. Excellent.
The bad news is
Yeah.
that this particular Force user has the power to foresee the future, and he's telling us to really pack up and bring everything we've got to this particular meeting. So I'm sensing that it's going to go wrong, but it's our best chance.
That's what? Dying? Wait, what are we getting out of this? What are you talking about?
This is how we can contact the Rebel Alliance for reinforcements without making a bad deal with the consortium at all.
Okay, look,
This is a win-win.
I'm a
Win.
little worried. Gator, we might be going into a combat situation. How do you feel about that?
He's just like, I don't know.
So,
Is
I
Gator
get- I-
supposed to feel something?
Well, I honestly get quite a kick out of it, really. But, I mean, some people are not enjoyable at all. They don't want anything that's
like
very
when you
dangerous.
say that, Gator's like sort of like scratches his chin. He's just like, and then he like maybe he like pokes at your stomach or something like that, and he's like, and then he like sort of walks behind you, and he's just scratching your chin, and then he just like maybe like you feel him like grab something in your back or whatever, and he just sort of like shakes it a little bit, and he's just like, I don't understand why.
But what? Well, I've still had some modification. You think it's not proper? I mean, is there something wrong back there? I don't get to peek back there very often. Just let me know what's happening.
E0BY, what is your main primary function?
In my head, that's exactly what happened.
Kill all.
Kill.
I believe the last command you
all
were given by
Kill
your
all
master
Screaming
was
over my internal monologue. Yeah.
your last command was
high volume.
kill all my Sith allies, right? That was what Naga Sadao told you.
So do you repeat that out loud, like maybe like instinctively, because this is the first time
Kill
anyone's
all
asked
his
for you?
Sith
Like,
allies.
I'm like, well, murdering Sith. Medical. I mean, the original body was medical. Look, I was originally designed. Look, we shouldn't talk here. I'm a medical droid. We shouldn't talk here. It's like the
Then-
Look, later on, I'll explain everything. So,
Wow,
I mean, I don't even
I-
know everything.
Just there's Now that you said that, there's an absolutely 100% chance that you'll die this episode before explaining it, and then we'll have a whole arc to figure it out. Listen, I'll explain everything. Oh, I've been shot in the heart.
No, he'll give us one thing. No, you must find Xavier. Oh. Well, shit. Well, now we gotta find this Xavier dude.
So speaking of
Anyway.
Xavier, a.k.a. that guy known as Weequay of the Weequay, what's the plan here?
Weequay de la
So-
Weequay.
I think I inform Major Johns that we have found a way to pursue the contacting the Rebel Alliance for reinforcements without making the deal with the consortium. So we're gonna go do that, basically. And also, I re-warn him that it is very likely that the Toby Zero is going to be assaulting the shield generators. So they should really double down.
I guess
on
when we
defenses over
do
there.
that, Moloxi's going to bring up the point of, well, like you said, they're expecting you to do this. Are we going to go against what we told them?
Well, I didn't agree to it. I said I would try. I'll simply, if they talk to me again, I'll simply say that the Rebel Alliance refused the plan.
And you think
That
they're going
they
to
have-
take it well?
Yes. We'll get nothing at all except for a pissed off Zan consortium. Good job, everyone.
Well, it's not like I reached out to them. They reached out to me. So
All right,
Right,
what's
they
their
reach out
number?
to you
I'm
and expected this to
blocking
happen.
them right now. Let me see your goddamn communicate.
they called
It doesn't. It's not like
it's
it's not like their neighbor asking you for a cup of space sugar.
Wait, they
And,
seriously
oh no, I
called-
don't have space sugar. That
Oh wow, I think Skype died.
says they expected it.
See, Wreckage, that's what happens when you play Skype at 1.5 times audio. We lose everything.
I'm operating on a different level. I'm actually speeding this up. This takes only 2 hours for me. Like everybody else, 4 hours. It takes me 2 hours to do this.
So effective.
I've got a time turner.
Snake, don't cause a time paradox. Ocelot is dead.
Anyway, so Toby, suit up, Moxie,
Suit
Gator.
down.
So we're willing to just piss. We're just willing to piss them off and tell them fuck off.
We're not going to tell them. Fuck
Yes,
off.
no, I mean, but definitely tell them.
Basically, you
they
are.
can-
If you're saying no, I won't do this for you. That's essentially what they're telling them.
I'm
Look,
going
this
to
is
tell them
what he
that I
is.
tried, which I did, and that the
With
king
the Zan consortium.
the king really hates them and did not approve the deal. That's
Look, they
what
probably knew that was the case politically and knew that you would get shut down. As in-
Well, then, if this was all just an excuse to hate me anyway, then they were going to hate me no matter what. Let's not
That's
dwell
how
on the
big of
past.
assholes they are.
I
God,
agree,
the Zan
Toby.
consortium.
Let's not dwell on the past, and let's go get this job done.
Yeah.
Suit up, everyone.
So
On my murder list, at the like the murder list just goes into the Zan consortium list, and it's just
So it's
Write a
super
script, copy
visible
over.
to all of you when this happens. Like Caleb starts shouting, and his eyes start like visibly crackling with like red electricity, and several objects in the area just like shatter. Some of the small like Fabergé egg trinkets just explode.
Like, look, okay, I'm getting my.
Maybe I'm holding my
God
robot friend that I just made,
Yeah.
and like
Fizzles.
it's because basically it's just a calculator on wheels now. Like no, it's a random die on wheels. Like that's basically what I've built now with this thing, and it's slow, and I'm just like I grab it out of the air and pull it back down.
name it RN Jesus.
Caleb, like, really quickly is, like, pinching the bridge of his
RNA.
nose and calming down, and he says,
And I'm like, look, I'm gonna go get my goddamn disruptor rifle, and
Yes,
we're gonna go
the-
take care of business, okay?
the Delta is in no condition to do another mission, so I will just come on the Enya Hope.
Yes,
Oh,
meet me back at the ship. I'll inform
I
the
mean, so the
generals.
location you need to go to is within like several miles. I mean, if you want to fly the ship there, you're gonna have to park it and then like drive.
No,
It's
no.
within the
It's
capital city, so you gotta
take
like
a,
take public transportation
Yeah,
or
we'll just
walk
take-
there.
I'll take my luxury land speeder.
Okay. Are
will
you
take-
going
and I will
alone
ask-
in that, or are you taking
No,
everybody?
I will. I think there's only room for.
There's
Is there
enough
room for
room to fit everybody. Yeah.
Then we'll all get in the luxury land speeder. Why not?
All right.
What was the time frame I got from Kusov?
He said you only had a few days before your brother would be shot.
Okay.
I informed the generals that we're going to have a meeting and we'd like to have backup within the area in case something goes sour.
Yeah, the generals. John's is just like, I'm sorry, what? You're going to a meeting when you should be deciding what plan your people
No,
should
I've
be
already.
following.
As I said earlier. I
Right, but
already
now
told
he's like
him.
live talking to Toby about it because
Yeah.
Toby just sent a message.
Yeah.
Like, yes. I mean, look, we've got, despite the long list of choices that we have in front of us, we've little choice at all. However, we've got a striking chance at making a swift and quick strike to be able to make contact with the rest of the rebellion. And it's a chance we can't pass up. However, it's very dangerous. I just want you to know the location we'll be at in case you get a distress signal or see something explode, okay?
John's is definitely if you want to, I guess you can cut the communicator off at any time. But John's is like, this is preposterous. You can't risk the Jedi like this. The Jedi Master Caleb is far too useful to the rebellion to risk on it. Something
Look.
might explode.
I'm fairly sure that he saw the future and that everything's fine. It was
Oh.
something like that, so don't worry about it.
Oh, very well. Well, if the Jedi says he's fine, I trust him.
Okay, excellent. I'll
Why
see
does
you
he
in about
trust
an
me
hour.
when I'm not in the room? Guy's
Then I
weird.
click off.
How do we know this is even coming from this person you say it is?
It might not be.
Look, I have the disruptor rifle. We're fine.
Can I see your communicator for a moment?
Snaps it, throws.
There. Now we have nothing. Are you happy?
I like hand over mine as well, and he's just snap everyone's communication.
Come on, everybody. Everybody, phones in. Phones in. Come on.
I mean, you know what? Let's just live in the Naboo outback. Let's just break all ties
That's
with all
it.
of our
We're going off
communicators.
the grid.
Arthur will have to come up with bounty hunters that show up at our doorstep, and then you have to go
No,
through
we're
a
gonna live
minefield.
like Yoda. We're gonna live like totally disconnected, no outside communication at all.
That was an inside joke
I
to a
make my
previous
own oil from fermented farm animals.
So I just want to point
Can
out,
I check
What?
his?
I want
Can
to
I check it to make sure that the message like I guess check the source of the message and see where it came from and like try to verify it in some way.
You want to
It says
verify
legit at the end.
that the message came from Weequay?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Do you have computers?
I do.
Let's computers it up.
Do it, bruh.
What's my?
Gonna be a 2 purple roll.
Okay.
RNG.
That's the name of the new bot that I made.
Go computers.
Yo.
Yeah. You backhack into the message server. The ingest overflow is definitely stacked right now with everybody like sending
Plus the
messages to
HTML
each
with
other.
the CSS attack.
Yeah, everybody is just sending messages to
planet.
each other like, "Yo, hauling it down." Is it for you? And everybody's like, "Yeah, man, I can't get off the planet."
I like the idea of them being like, "Oh, the internet's down. I'm just gonna check the internet to see why it's down."
The bigger internet is down. Let's check the little internet.
Check the little internet.
Yeah, and with all these like pings going to the ingest server, you just flop some bits, and
Yeah.
I'm running out of buzzwords here, but yeah, you get in there and you find out that the place this message was sent from is not the same place that you're going to. It's across the street. The location you're being sent to is like an abandoned, empty warehouse in like a shitty part of town. Literally the worst part of the capital of Naboo you could go to. It's the like repurposed Gungan workers barracks that was abandoned after the like Gungans became full citizens on the surface world. It's like a shadowy reminder of the shitty part of the humans who lived on the planet. The whole neighborhood is basically like broken windows and drug dealers all trying to push like spice and death sticks. And directly across from it is the location where this message was sent from is like a small like Zabrakian restaurant.
Bet we could pick up some cheap real estate around here, eh?
Yeah, probably like as I figure this out, I kind of spew that back to the group, and so the person that sent this is not going to be there. They're going to be watching what's going to happen.
That could still be Weequay.
The old cross the streets method, eh? I say we go on like another street down and come in their back door. See how they like that? Right
This is
this
my-
way.
This is my suggestion. Typically, I would be the one to do this, but I'm the one that must make the appearance at the location. So, I would suggest that Maloxy, I will let you off a ways away so that you can explore the location that the message came from, while the rest of us
Explode the
make our
location.
expected appearance at the location that they will be watching.
All right. Well, I need to buy a new data pad first. Mine
Here you go. They fall off of trees.
broke.
I guaranteed that Caleb has the phone that came out like last week. And he probably gets the next one next week. He's just like, I'm rolling in it.
This is the datapad IS.
Oh, it's not the IS Plus.
No,
Too big
no,
for
they
his
just-
hands. He can't reach his thumb all the way across the IS
No,
Plus.
no,
It's just like it.
the Rebellion only has resources 6, so I can't get the
Oh,
IS Plus.
fine.
He's also sick.
They're only available on Imperial Center. Head to Coruscant today.
But yeah,
They sold out way before.
They're literally signed by Emperor Palpatine in like Mon Calamari blood.
well, now I just imagine Emperor Palpatine coming out dressed like Steve Jobs with a turtleneck, being like,
I'd rather.
"Yes,
I'd rather it was a-
IS Plus,
Get data pad.
Unlimited data.
unlimited data."
Oh my god.
Truly,
No
this is a
no
huge
one's done an
forward step
unlimited
for the
data
Empire.
plan.
The unlimited data plan.
Yeah.
Our
Unlimited
other competitors
texts
are the
and
Rebel
friend
Alliance,
calls
and you
to
don't want to
people
be
of the-
seen supporting them, do you?
People weren't sure which plan to get, so I went on the street to find out. Excuse me, citizen, which data plan would you
Oh,
prefer?
hey, are you the emperor of the
He'd just be like, "You prefer my data
I
plan."
prefer the Imperial plan.
I got the.
I prefer the Imperial plan.
I got the both in
See?
blood red edition. Many Bothans died to bring me this cell phone.
So before we move
This
on
show
to
keeps
what's
giving.
happening with Weequay, I got a message about a tweet that's pretty timely. I don't know if you guys have been following the shit with Tobuscus,
Yeah, I
the
saw
streamer.
something about
So
it.
someone sent me this tweet, and I was like, "Oh, this must be related to Toby," because the first line says, "Let's talk about Toby's mental health problems and how we can help him." And I was like, "Oh, it's Tobuscus, not Toby." I don't know why you sent me
Not your
this.
Toby, Arthur. Another Toby. I have Toby as a highlighted word on Twitch. So like anytime I'm in any stream anywhere and someone says Toby, I'm like, is someone talking?
Yes. What are you gonna do for you, old boy?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So what is the plan approaching this
Right, so
broken
we're letting-
down? So this barracks
take-
is enormous. It's like
We're gonna let him off at the cell phone store.
We're gonna let Maloxy off. Like, honestly, Maloxy probably just jumps off like a couple
Is it
blocks
Malak?
away.
Oh, that's right. You're gonna be driving, even though Malax is the pilot. Yeah, Malaxi, how does that sit with you? Like being in a vehicle and not being behind the controls.
It's like a car, basically, though.
yeah, but still, are you a
little
driver that
weird.
needs to drive, or are you like, oh, this is cool?
A
Kinda
little
like
weird.
when your grandmother drives a car.
Actually,
and
I
it's
was
like
gonna
really
offer to have
slow.
her
Like-
pilot it just in case we needed to, but now she has
Oh,
to
that's
be the one.
that's
in
sexist because she's a
infiltration.
woman. You think that she has to do what you say, huh?
I was going to offer.
Wow.
her- I was going to offer
Twist.
her to drive.
Yeah, Malaxi, how are you with having to
A little
ride?
weird.
Okay, it's a little weird.
She
for you.
likes piloting whatever she's riding in. So maybe like when we're riding, you see her like her foot tapping a little bit, just like whenever Caleb makes a turn, she like looks to make sure he's doing it right, and then looks away. Like
Oh,
I would have
backseat
shaved
driving?
37 microns off of that turn.
she
Made
like
it
she
a little
like,
too
she, like
slow.
she like holds it in, but she's like He put his turn signal on the way too soon. What the hell is he doing? Like, just like little things like that.
Keep thinking he's gonna go off the off the roadway because you're not used to being on this side of the
Just straight
vehicle,
up
right?
drive like an
You're
old
like,
man.
isn't he really
We
close
see him
to
with,
the...
with his head up in the wheel.
Good
You know,
stuff.
I might just go into like a forced stroke at any moment, and then we would all die.
force stroke?
I mean, your eyes are literally crackling with red electricity right now.
Yeah, and Toby is like standing in the front seat, like looking forward, like a giant, front of
I
a ship.
imagine that Caleb has some severe road rage. You know what I mean? Like
He's
he's
a
just
Jedi
like,
with road rage, or a Sith with
what
road
are you
rage.
doing?
Like,
You can't turn. Like
you cut me
like
off.
generally the most
Anyway.
calmest person in the world, but can't drive a
I'm
car.
just standing
without
on the
getting-
hood with both my lightsabers on.
Ah!
I'm fucking ready.
Anyway,
Yeah.
anyway.
You let
so,
Maloxy off. Where are
and
you
we-
leaving Maloxy?
I take the data pad that he gave me. I sign him out and sign me in and get my stuff set
Oh,
up.
of course.
basically
Yeah,
we
you
just-
sign into your
basically-
Microsoft account. Yeah.
Yeah, my Office 365 account.
Basically, we drive, like we intentionally take a route where we pass like a block away from the place that she needs to infiltrate, where she can jump off, and then circle back around to our place, like
Okay.
and then just we park the land speeder, and get into we go to the actual coordinates.
Okay.
And
All
I'm
right.
Eyes
like, can you
open,
believe
obviously,
they
everybody's-
forced you to merge your hollow tube account? It's fucking ridiculous.
Hollow tube, Jesus Christ.
HoloTube's actually like a website designed for like receiving like actual mail.
A hollow tube, right?
Maloxy, what's your plan to? You're like breaking into the Zabrakian restaurant, right?
Yeah, so I'm gonna like go over go to where it was, and just kind of scope the place out for a few minutes. Just like watch the entrance for like a little while to see if anyone comes in, anyone comes out. And then I'll kind of decide like, and then once I kind of get an idea that she'll try to break in.
It's a restaurant. Why don't you just walk in the front door?
Well, she wants to watch it first.
Okay. So I mean, so are you watching it or are you breaking in?
Well, she'll give it a few minutes to see if it's like, it will basically this is like is it a restaurant where it's just like, oh, random people are just walking in and out all the time. It's just a regular restaurant, or if it's like the hooded Zabraks are
A
like, around before they walk
restaurant.
in, and they walk up and be like, secret password, and then the door
That seems
slides
like a
open.
perception check to me.
You just
but-
see person after person come in and go inside, but no one ever leaves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
this is
like,
just, I want to see what kind of place it is. Like,
yeah, make a perception check against
Okay.
2 purple.
yeah, this is just like oh, okay, like families are walking in. This is just a restaurant, or if it's like, oh, this is like a weird cult place.
Might be a cult place. You never know.
Well, it's only 2 purple, so it can't be that hidden.
2 purple.
Yep.
You said.
Perception against 2 purple.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, so I get to withhold a detail. Cool. You look over the place. No one seems to be going in or out of this location. Maybe you poke around a corner, you take a few glances, you see the enormous 3-story Gungan workers dormitory, and it's like every single window in this place has been shattered by rocks. It's covered in horrible graffiti that depicts super racist Gungans. There's a number of gang signs, and there's a
So
big
Gungans.
Zane Consortium Z out on the front of it as well. When
Okay.
you look at the Zabrak restaurant, you just check it out. Do you pass in front of it briefly to get a look inside, maybe?
Yeah, she
Okay.
hangs out in the corner and then kind of maybe strolls by, just casually, just keeping an
Super
eye
cash.
on it.
Yeah, there's
flying cash.
Cash like cashmere.
There's a relatively attractive to human or near human species female Zabrak of adolescent age who's just looking out at the counter, super bored, with a washcloth in her hand that's washing down the front register. There's several plastic tables sit at, but no chairs. and like a drink machine.
Those are tables to stand at, Arthur.
Yeah, sorry, stand it. She's got
Okay.
a number of like facial tattoos. All of them are in purple.
You know, purple facial tattoos, the obvious sign of the "we kill people in the building over" group.
Right, of course.
She has
Um,
purple tattoos. They say we kill people this direction. There's an arrow pointed towards your crew.
I'm with about to die arrow.
How big is the place? Is it like 2 stories, 1 story?
I mean, it's like 15 feet wide and like
Oh, it's like okay, it's like a
story.
tiny little.
It's
Okay.
a small restaurant.
All in the
small
wall.
restaurant.
You say.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha.
The greasy spoon
Okay,
there.
okay, it's like a got it. Okay.
All right.
I go around. I'll pass by in front, and then I'll like take a turn once I get to the corner or whatever, and go around like to like. Is there like an alley behind it or anything, or like?
Yeah, I mean, it's got a convenient dark alley with like a dumpster and several trash cans, and there's like some sort of like armadillo-like creature snuffling through the garbage. That, you know, it's basically exactly like any Star Wars creature. It's obviously a puppet of some kind. And as soon as it sees you, it makes like a weird noise and goes shuffling off into the darkness.
Just scurries away.
At the end of the alley is like a T intersection where the buildings on the far side like form their own alleyway.
Okay. Does this place have a back entrance, or is it just the one in the front?
I mean, are you going back there to check?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So there's like a long like alleyway super highway that when you come around the corner, like there's back entrances to all of these buildings. They've all got like huge chains and locks. The fronts of the buildings and the sides of the buildings weren't that bad. Once you get like behind all these buildings, there's like gang signs everywhere. Like 100 feet down in one direction, you see like someone carrying a hugely illegal disruptor rifle, just openly smoking a death stick, sitting on a crate outside.
It's just
of,
a body,
like
like
a warehouse.
Trash.
Yeah, like, this is a bad part of town, and you can tell. The back door is here, and it's got like several locks on it, and it's also got like an electronic lock pad.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go up to the back door and yeah, I'll try to break in.
Okay. Can you make a 2 red and 1 purple? Gosh, I can't remember the name of it.
Skullduggery?
It's Skullduggery, not Streetwise.
You can
Okay.
you can do skullduggery or computers for. I think
This is definitely. You have to physically interact with this.
Okay.
Like
Physical-
there's an electronic component to it, but there's absolutely a physical side that you can't
Yeah,
get around
so
with
I
just
like-
computers.
Yeah, walk over and start messing with like pull off the panel and start doing the
Okay.
Star
Yeah.
Warsy kind of lock thing. All right, 2 red, 1 purple, and where'd you go? Skullduggery. There we are. Here we go. Okay.
Yeah. So you get the door open, and just as you do, you hear the Rhodian down the way with like the disruptor rifle begin speaking to you in Huttese. And he's just like, "Unane chuta tune," and he gestures with the disruptor rifle for you to like move away from the door.
I thought he was saying go in. I mean, whatever. Arthur thinks one thing, I think the other. It's not
Right,
like
yeah.
one of us is right.
Oh, what? Go inside? Oh, sure. Thanks for letting me. thank
I
you.
mean, is that how you're misinterpreting this? You gonna make that play?
Disruptor rifle, bro. Disruptor rifle.
He will kill you in one shot. But I mean, does it? So he looks like he's here for this, or is he just a guy in an alley?
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's watching an entirely different building. But, I mean, you are breaking into a building quite close. And do you speak Huttese?
I don't think so. Language was.
There's like no... If you want to speak it, you can speak it. It's not... The only thing you have to learn how to speak is binary.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd assume so then, because it's Star
Okay,
Wars.
yeah,
so
you're
just
you're
like,
a criminal, right? So
yeah.
yeah. He's saying, what are you doing? Get away from that door. It's protected.
You really care what happens to them? These fuckers owe me money. Just getting what's owed to me.
Can you make a deception check real quick?
Sure. What's the difficulty on that?
Wow. Sucks at this. So it is 1 red and 1 purple. And I think there's definitely going to be a black die because you're standing right in front of a door you just unlocked.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
this
breaking.
is
I'm
cool.
breaking in and getting what's owed to me. Exactly.
I mean, if you'd gone in through the front door, it'd be one thing. But the fact that you're like, oh, I'm going to open the back door, huh? I mean, if you were like,
Exactly.
yeah, I'm going to go through the front door and strong arm these people. I mean, that's how he would do it, right?
Right. That's how he would
Right.
do it.
Yeah.
Okay. 111 and deception.
Boom.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom down.
Okay. Take 1 point of strain as he looks at you for a moment and is like, I don't think I believe you. And then he just nods and he's like, okay, yeah, they owe us a bit of money too. But, if you can beat something out of them, just make sure you let them know that we're coming next.
Everybody owes everybody money.
Yeah,
in
exactly.
Star Wars.
Absolutely.
It's a debt-based
Absolutely,
economy.
buddy.
Yeah. So you slip in through the back door, and there's like a steaming kitchen that you go immediately into, and you're like, as a Cathar, you're immediately hit in the face with Zabrak cooking smells. It smells fucking horrible in here. They like openly slaughter animals and then leave them to like rot for several days before cooking them.
Ripen. The term is ripen.
Okay.
You're so
Or-
insensitive, Arthur. I can't believe
Okay,
I'm
Kinsey.
really triggered right now.
Yeah, the meat in here is
I mean,
super ripe.
People eat rotten shark. Humans
It's
do
true.
it. It's not that weird.
Yeah, I think she like the door opens
Fist.
and just she's hit with it and she just like hisses a little bit and like her nose.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah. As soon as
crunches
you
up.
hiss, like someone comes bustling around the corner. It's like a Zabrakian chef, like wearing a chef hat, and his like horns are poking out of it in holes. So they've got like metal rings around it, so he can like fit his head into the mushroom hat holes, and it won't move around too much. Like washers. And he's just like, "Hey, what are you doing back here? How'd you get that open?"
It was open.
So yeah, he's like, no, it wasn't, and he like goes.
Well, it's open
for...
now. I mean, I didn't,
Yeah, he like
it's not
goes for
I
a
don't have
holdout
in there or
blaster
something.
on his hip. He's like, hey.
He pulls it out.
Yeah, I mean, he's going for it right now. Like, what's your reaction as he like reaches for it?
Okay. I would like to like grab him and like pull him outside.
Okay, yeah, make an athletics roll.
Okay. This I'm not so good at, so we'll see how this goes.
You're rolling against
Don't let this infiltration mission get too far out of hand.
2
Tux.
purple.
2 purple.
Yeah, and I feel like this is a perfect time to just completely fuck you. So I'm gonna spend a force die, and make things really hard because it's gonna be 1 purple, 1 red. Did you try to manhandle this guy before he whips out a pistol and threatens you? You like lunge at him and then throw him outside? Is that what the plan is here?
Well, I want to like grab. So basically, I'm trying to make him not grab his gun. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to grab him, like pull him over.
Okay.
Wait, are you wrestling him or are you moving him?
Kind of trying to. I'm.
You're trying to prevent him from drawing the gun. That's the important
Yeah,
thing.
that's more my goal. Is
Yeah.
make it so he. Yeah, I don't want him to pull out the gun.
Well, look up where his gonads are and kick him there.
It's gonna take a little
This
while.
is Star Trek, so you have to
The
punch him in
Holonet
the
is down.
forehead. That's where his
All right,
testicles are located.
So it's still athletics. 1 red, 1 purple.
Yep. Roll a despair. Roll a despair.
The Vulcan
Can I-
neck pinch
can I
that works
force-
on every
Oh.
species.
Upgrade.
Sorry, what was the question, Tux?
I use a force die.
Yeah. What are you using it to do?
I'll upgrade mine
Okay.
just to make it even.
The whole roll is just going to be nothing but triumph and despair. Those are the only things that are going to come up.
Okay, here we go.
Last time you called a 143 on a fucking D100 roll, so
Okay, so I got an advantage.
Yeah. You go for the gun, and maybe you knock the gun out of his hand, but as you're struggling, like a pot comes off the pot lid, and a huge blast of steam gets in your face, and you're like, "Ow!" And he starts like
Right.
throwing hot objects off the grill at your face, and so you've got like burning hot, like used to be rotten meat, now just like hitting you in the face. It's disgusting, and some of it's like gooey rather than like solid meat.
Oh my god.
can she roll to see if she can eat it as fast as he's throwing it?
Yeah, I mean, she could roll until he finally gets to like the cutting station and whips out a vibro knife, and holds it menacingly at you,
Oh,
and
shit.
he's just like, "I don't want any trouble. Just leave, and I won't call the authorities. I'm on good
Is it a
terms with the
floppy
rebellion
vibro knife
around
for
here."
like cutting fish?
I mean, he uses the vibro knife to like cut like large animals
Yeah.
down and like butcher things.
And really tough, like, root vegetables.
This restaurant doesn't seem to serve anything but one food group.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, broccoli.
it's a Zabrakian restaurant. They only serve meats. Yeah, so you've got like steaming hot liquid on your face right now,
Yeah, so
Malaxi.
I'm like batting this, trying to bat this stuff away as he's like throwing it up, and then he grabs
and
the
he's
knife.
got a vibro knife on you, and he's just like, I don't want any trouble. What do you do?
I think she says, her claws like just pop out of her hands.
Okay, we're going into combat.
Does he attack me as they pop
Yeah,
out?
as you like
Okay.
pop them out, he's immediately just like, "Oh shit!"
Okay, it wasn't.
He'll
she
just
wasn't
be
doing
like,
it in a
"I'm
threatening way, but
sorry,
if he takes
officer.
it
The
threatening,
gun
then-
went
okay.
off," and the officer's gonna be like, "Wasn't a gun. It was a knife." And he's like, "Reflexes, man." Yeah, you're definitely about to get in a stabbing war. You're both in engage range, which is both where you're really good at. So.
Awesome.
Tux, you were just supposed to check out the place.
I know.
Now you're murdering a chef. Disengage, buddy. You don't have to keep doing things.
Yes, I do.
Oh my
Okay.
god. Okay, yeah. Roll for initiative. You know, I mean, you knew this fight was coming, right? And he rolls. Jesus,
cool.
he's super
He rolls
terrible.
his shit. Murder time.
Same either way.
Welcome to the murder team.
All right, you're acting first.
Murdering the innocent.
Yeah,
kid.
you popped your claws out. You see him lunging towards you. What do you do?
I'm going to try to move away from him. Like if he's like lunging with the knife, I want to like back away, like roll to the side or something,
You
and
wanna
just be like, "Look, I
disengage?
don't want any trouble either. I'm just here checking. I'm checking on something."
Okay, you're trying to convince him that you're not here
Yeah.
for any trouble then. Interesting. All right, that's definitely something you can do. It doesn't sound like you're coercing him, right? You're not like, "I don't want any trouble." You're just like, "Hey, come on, I don't want any trouble." Go ahead and
I
make
just
a
want a
charm
recipe
check.
for your dead Nerf meat. It's delicious.
And he opposes with cool. And his cool is super good. So you're going to be rolling charm versus 1 red and 2 purple.
Fuck.
I mean, thank you, Maker. You'd never had to roll against Coral because that would literally be 5 red.
Just crushing.
Um.
Maxed out, right? 5 red? Is that maxed out?
Yeah. My
And then I'm sure
cool's
Coral would
fucking
just be like,
stupid
"Okay,
high.
you also have to re-roll it twice."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. All All right, 2 red, 2 purple, 1 red. Let's do this. I'm gonna go for it.
Okay. Then he die.
Fuck.
Oh, wah, 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 wah. Yeah, you take 2 points of strain as you try negotiating with him.
I'm not
What's
into
your plan
furries.
here? Like, it clearly doesn't go well. What are you saying?
I think I'm telling like a version of the truth. So something like we were threatened by someone from this a threat came from this restaurant that was just here to check it out, see what was going on.
Yeah, so he's like lunging at you with a knife. He's like, "That's ridiculous."
It's like, yeah, and I'm just here to practice my stabbing.
Anything else you want to do besides try to make a convincement?
Yeah, so that was my action. So
Okay.
right. So
Yep. Do you have any maneuvers you want to take?
Yeah, I think now that
No
I
way.
see he's not buying it, I'm gonna move. I'll move towards the door.
Okay. Yeah, you use a maneuver and you disengage.
You could also, not brace. There's another thing you can do to add a defense die. I can't
Yeah,
remember
you
what it
can
is.
use the environment. So you could like pick up maybe like that pot lid that came off earlier.
Oh,
use
a
it
cutting
as
board.
Yeah, you could use a cutting board against
And
the
you could
get
knife
a-
designed to
you
cut
could
through.
add a black die to his attack with a cutting board. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah,
Is that an incidental or is that an action?
that's it. That's a maneuver. If you want to take a second maneuver, it'll cost you 2 strain.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Yeah. So so I
Cutting
move
board
towards the
and
door.
disengage.
As I do so, I grab like I grab like a big cutting board and just like I'm holding it up like a shield.
So, as he lunges at you, Maloxy, you've seen it now to some extent a little bit with Gator. Maybe if you were watching, you've definitely seen it with Caleb, his eyes glowing. You saw it with Coral. This guy, when he starts lunging at you, one eye goes red and the other guy goes blue.
What?
They
Oh
both
my
start
God.
glowing.
What the fuck?
And as you're watching, you see the knife split into like 3 directions. And let's see how the roll goes.
What the fuck?
The
Uh,
only one without glowing eyes around. Oh no, wait, I have glowing eyes. Oh, sorry.
And
he
cats
actually
have
has
reflective
no
eyes.
skill at using this thing, so he gets 2 green.
I have
And then
one-
he can add two more green die because of his bullshit power. And he's gonna use a maneuver to aim as he lunges at you. Oh no, he's got to move up to you. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got to re-engage you. So yeah, he just has 4 green dice.
I have one
Your
defense.
defense is purple and 1 black. Yeah, so as you're watching, the knife like splits in 3 directions, and like 2 of them miss, and one of them looks like it's gonna hit, and all 3 knives like collapse down to the one knife. And as he's stabbing you,
fuck
like the
is
light
this?
goes out of his eyes, and he hits you
Did
for.
my defense die not get counted?
It did. You rolled a black. There's a black. It just had nothing on it.
Oh, so
No. No, do you mean you have defense die besides?
Oh, do
just
you
the
have a
cutting board?
melee defense die?
yeah.
Okay, all right, let's roll it in there. So a second black. All right, yeah, he only gets 2 successes.
So that's a little helpful at least.
Better.
Yeah.
It's better.
So he hits you for, let's see here, Vibro Knife. He hits you for 5 points of damage. It pierces 2 soak.
Okay, so that's 1. Okay, so I have 3 soak, so pierces 2, so makes me have 1 soak, so I take 4.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so, maybe he, like, lightly grazes some of your cat fur, cuts a line of blood, but mostly it's just about you getting, like, tangled up in things. It's reducing your, like, endurance in this fight, and it's scary as shit when his eyes start glowing,
like,
and
what
then
the fuck
knives
is
start...
I don't even
Yeah,
understand.
like, magical
barely what the
knives
fuck
just
is happening,
fucking
yeah.
appear out of the air, and one of them turns out to be the one that stabs you.
That was wounds he took?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Run away.
What do you
So
wanna
I
do?
think
Run away.
back on
Run
mine,
away. Run away.
Just calms us. We're right there.
Yeah, but run away because we need to
Yeah.
still do this meeting. We're not
I'm just
trying
gonna,
to pick a
yeah,
fight.
I'm just gonna like, yeah, I'm just gonna run away.
Okay.
And
So you're disengaging and you're
next time I
running?
moved towards the door last time, so I'm just gonna like, I just like chuck the cutting board at him and just turn and sprint out the door.
So as you run, he's like shaking the knife out the door, and he like begins cursing in Danthamiran, and then like It just looks at all of the locks on his door, and he's like, "Ah, chupatinapatichina, una chata," as you're like running away, and the camera zooms away from him. So for some reason, they're like still piping in the audio, like he's standing right in front of the camera, but the camera like goes through the store and zooms into like the front, and behind the drink machine, there's a payphone that you didn't see before. And oh no, we're gonna go into it. All right, Caleb, you, Toby, and Gator, you haven't heard anything from Maloxy. Are you still going in?
No, we go in right away. We're
Okay, you
dropping
go
her
in
off.
right away.
Like the
Okay.
idea was like if there was if it was like the consortium thing where they had a rocket launcher in the other building, then she would be there to do something. But
Yeah.
we're going in right away without her hearing anything, like because this is happening at the same time, basically.
Yeah. So as you go in, it looks like Weequay is just like sitting in the center of this wrecked facility. There's like sunlight rays coming through the cracked out glass, and there's lots of, you could see the dust filtering everything. And maybe there's like one god ray that's directly on Weequay sitting in the center of the room, where there's like a pile of gravel on the floor for some reason. And as you approach him, just like this liquid midnight figure drops 3 stories from the ceiling and lands between you and him. And like pulls back their hood, and
Wouldn't knock us down.
all we see is like yellow eyes as a yellow lightsaber lights up. Before we go to break, we hear like.
This is new. This is a new color. This is a new person. We're all very excited. Let's have a 2-second break.
I mean, it's gonna be like a
I need
6-minute break.
Yeah, 6 minutes. Doggy dog, we're on.
Then we'll be back
I
with
mean,
Caleb, Toby, and Gator. Well, maybe like the there's like an
Maybe we
advertisement
could-
for the show, and the advertisement is just like Maloxy running around in the background of the scene. Oh yeah, we're 24ing it. Maloxy's just running. Maybe she's like in an alleyway, like bandaging her arm up, like.
There's the snapness of a lightsaber, but we can still hear the audio of the guy yelling at Maloxy. Like, what?
I'm an amajuta.
All right.
One of the 4 scenes is just Wrath on the ship, like wiping something down, like because only 2 things are happening. So we get a scene of Maloxy, we get a scene of the main group, we get like a 3rd scene of like the Gungan King playing with his coral action figure, and then another one of Wrath like wiping.
Yeah, I
down.
imagine the Carl action
He's so
figure.
cool.
He's kind of just like, oh baby, you're so attractive,
He's
and
got
then
like
he has-
another Twi'lek toy, right?
and he's like, oh
Lost.
Jedi, you're so handsome.
Control the show again. All right, so we'll be back shortly with Les Coral playing a fantasy version of himself, playing with a fantasy version of himself. Yeah,
Now I
so
kind of want to get a Carl action figure.
6 minutes.